My next guest has been one of our favourite pop stars for the past 15 years with JLS. Now, Aston Merrygold is back in the charts with a new and very personal, fantastic solo single. I'm joined by Aston now. I'm just sharing with you that for me and my friends, we've spent many an inappropriate night chatting about which JLS member we fancied the most. We all did it. All the nation's women did this, and maybe some of the men too. Yep. Morning to you, Aston. It's gorgeous to have you in. What a great single.
Thank you.
What's it about? You've written it yourself and your family got emotional.
Yes, yeah, it's just one of those, I suppose, songs that it kind of pictures where I am in life right now. I think 3 kids deep, myself and my wife, it's you know, as people, you know, with kids know and just in the world, it's a juggle, right? But...
And this, what's happening here?
I'm not sure if that's more kind of, you know, sleep deprivation kind of kicking in and all the emotion, but for us, I showed the family the video for the very first time, and my eldest son, I put them a little message at basically the end of the video saying being your daddy is basically the greatest gift I could ever ask for. And he jumped down from the table and he was like, I love you more than ever, Daddy. This is amazing. And just gets you. Do you know what I mean?
It gets you. And you've got little baby. How old's your littlest one?
Yes, Riley. She is going to be 9 months tomorrow.
Such a great age, isn't it? It's such a great age. It's so wonderful to hear you. I was just saying as you came and sat down, it's like your voice is insanely good, but when you're in a band, you sort of, as a sort of fan, you sort of forget the individual talents because we see you dancing. There's a dynamic, and you hear the sort of voice together, the harmonies, which are gorgeous. But you on your own, I mean, what a spectacular voice!
Thank you.
You have. No, has it changed over the years? Because you're a bit older these days than you were back in the X Factor days.
Yeah, I've probably deepened a little bit, which is nice. But I just think it just comes with the years of kind of putting it through its paces. You know what I mean? I've done so many gigs with the boys over the years,
and the comeback was amazing.
Exactly. So it was, yeah, the voice just gets stronger. It feels like it's in a good place now, and it feels maturer.
And of course, you've been on stage in the West End, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
So
recently,
you've been sort of And how was that, Wizard of Oz?
Incredible, so much fun. Honestly, I think as a show, we all know kind of the iconic story of Dorothy and her friends, and you know, getting to bring this show to life and give it a bit of a modern twist as well in the West End, and with such a fantastic cast was brilliant. And you know, the acting chops as well. It's definitely got me, you know, wanting more. So
Has it?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. It was so much fun. Yeah.
And now, of course, I was outraged on Strictly when you were sent home early. Okay, I was telling the team in the meeting yesterday. I was like, listen, were you all blue? Were you painted blue for that one when you
Not that week. That was our movie week. That was,
you and Jeanette.
Was Trolls, yeah.
Yeah, the Trolls one, that's right. I love that.
Yeah.
But then I remember, wasn't it that, I think Shirley or somebody had said, you're a brilliant dancer, but that isn't quite ballroom. So you sort of got sent home for breaking the rules, Aston.
I mean, technically, it was all kind of a bit of a flash in the pan at that time. I don't know what's going on, who's saying what. And I think, as you know rightly, when you are standing there and you're getting these comments, you're just going, I'm actually not listening to you. I'm just trying to catch my breath. That was, you just put so much into it.
I thought you were going to win. I think everybody thought you're going to win that year.
I mean, listen, it's a different skill set. Ballroom and Latin is a different skill set to dancing. And I think Jeanette's famous words to me in that rehearsal room where she went, I actually wish you'd done nothing before this, because it's actually harder to pull you back from what you're so used to and how your body moves and how you stand.
Well, we know you do all the backflips. You're so agile and everything.
All of it, yeah.
So what advice have you been giving to JB? Have you said, just don't do the basics right? Don't show off too much.
Don't do what I did, basically, is what I'm saying. No, for Jay, I think he's doing amazing. I just said, just continue what you're doing. I think for Jay now, it's just a bit like, bring out the personality a bit more. Like, I think we've only just scratched the surface of JB and from what he can actually do. So I'm looking forward to these next few weeks.
Do you think he's feeling a bit reserved, even though he's such an... You're all great performers?
I think in that show, everybody goes into it, regardless if you're a performer or not. No one's a ballroom and Latin dancer, so I think everybody's reserved. So I think now it's time for Jay to be like, OK, I can have some fun with this, because I know the technique.
Do you know what his couple's choice is? Do we know much about it? I think that's this week, because, of course, Amy's poorly,
but I'm not going to...
Oh, you know?
But we talk every day. I'm not going to... Do you know what I mean? I might know things, but...
Give us a little hint, because it's him and Lauren Oakley this week, isn't it?
It is him and Lauren. And obviously, for him, I think, you know, having to switch partners at such a last minute, and that whole thing is going to obviously play massive part and pressure. So, you know, sending lots of love to Amy as well. Cause...
You know, and also, look, I'm going to ask you a bit about Liam. obviously. Terribly tragic and incredibly shocking. You knew him back in the day. Tell us a bit about the Liam that you knew, because, of course, one boy band to another, there's probably a lot of... Your heart must have broken for him and his family.
Him and his family, friends,
all of ours did.
the fans, of course. It's still shocking now. I think it's still a very tender subject, but, you know, from meeting Liam, from the auditions of X Factor, not even X Factor, this is pre-television time, you know, meeting this young, hungry, talented young man, you know, to seeing the history that he's made with, you know, 4 other guys is second to none. Do you know what I mean? All we can do is kind of be proud of him and, you know, the legacy that he's left behind and the, you know, the beautiful family he's got. So, you know.
And is it right that he saw you boys together and he was like, you know, I'd quite like to be in a
literally from when Liam was a solo act, our year on X Factor, he didn't quite make it through that year. But he was around, we kind of took him under our wing, and it was amazing to kind of, you know, get to know that person there. And then obviously he came back and auditioned a few years later, and then, listen, you know, the rest is history, as they say. So.
Yeah, and when you hear something like that, is it sort of like you look at your bandmates and you think, you know, you hold them tighter, don't you? You think, God, it's just such
I just think everybody in general around you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, anything can happen at any time. So friends, family, bandmates, kids, all of it, it just kind of makes you really realise that, you know, the truly amazing people you've got in your life, just to hold them as tight as possible, you know?
Well, that is sort of what your single's about, isn't it? Holding the ones you love tight, close to you and showing them that you love them. It's a beautiful song. Well done. Thank you so much. Really lovely to chat to you this morning, Aston.